Hello everyone, back on these F-head rebuilds again. I've got some parts coming in for those axles and stuff. I'm still waiting on it. And some transmission gears are holding me up on those T90Cs. And the FC here is kind of slowed down, I guess due to money issues. So this one may get moved to the back shop until we can get going on that again. Always seems like I can work faster than people can keep up with, so we're a little behind on this guy, so I can't really afford to have it taking up space in the shop. So when the weather gets a little nicer this afternoon, we'll move that out into the back shop, and hopefully we get to finish this one, but not really sure how it's going to go. So in the meantime, I'm going to stay busy on these F-head builds. You could see this distributor is giving me lots of trouble. I have my chain vice grip on there. I've got my little wedge in there, and I have been lubing that and tapping it and trying to twist it for 2 days now. Hopefully today's going to be the day where it moves, but I'm not going to rush it. I don't like ruining distributors, and I don't like necessarily taking a rosebud tip and heating up the block. You could tickle the block a little bit with some heat if you have to, but I always try not to. So I'm just soaking that. There's my lube there, and I've been using this stuff for as long as I can remember, probably 25 years. Automatic transmission fluid and mineral spirits, 50/50. I've been using that stuff since before it was popular, just passed down to me through the years from old metal workers and old machinists and stuff. Real good stuff. So I have been soaking this one, and this is just a little clue as to why when you put your distributor in, a little bit of anti-seize, a little bit of fluid film, a little bit of light oil, something on there, because you'd never be able to adjust the timing on this vehicle because that distributor is locked in tight. So if you're very lucky, I took the bolt out of this just a minute ago, and look at that. That is perfect. So I do get a lot of questions about distributor installation, oil pump installation, timing, things like that. I'm going to go over that today real quick. And when I put these together, I will show you more in depth, but I do want to show you a few things about getting your distributor in the right place, and hopefully help out a few guys who are wondering about timing. So let me set up the tripod, get the camera set up, and talk about a few things with you. Okay, from the factory, when these motors all left the factory, your distributor was set so that this bottom spark plug takeoff was at the was right here. 1, 3, 4, 2, counterclockwise, and your oiler, I don't know if you can see that, was always in the back, you know, toward the block. Let me see if I can get you in there. Okay, you see that oiler there? That guy right there, that's the position of that. Now, I've taken motors apart for many years, and there's always, you know, number one is wherever they decide to put it. Sometimes I find number one over here, sometimes I find it here. I mean, you got 4 shots, and people don't really, I guess, know where the factory put it. Factory number one was always right there. When you're doing you're setting your distributor and your oil pump, engine's on top dead center, and what happens is here is the camshaft drives the oil pump. The oil pump drives the distributor. So that's why you can't, like on a Chevy motor or something like that, AMC motor, you go in there with a drill, turn the oil pump, pressurize the system. Can't do that here because the oil pump is engaged with the camshaft. So there's your oil pump, and you see the gears on it. And that's what drives the distributor. So this has to be, see that slot in there? I hope you can see that. I'm by myself today with the camera, so I'm hoping you can see that slot. That slot is what your distributor, bottom of your distributor goes into. So you can see that could be anywhere. You could turn this anywhere, and that has to be in the right position. So I'm going to take the distributor out now and show you what I'm talking about. There goes the cap, hang in there with me. So, like I said, that's going to be number one. See where that rotor's pointing? I don't know if you can see that or not. So, that would be number one down here. Rotor's pointing there. I'm going to pull this out. And you can see, I hope, I'm going to take this over to the bench and show you the bottom of the distributor, show you how that goes together. Maybe I can get a better picture of it. Okay, there's your oil pump. Now imagine that's in the engine and you're looking down through the distributor hole. When you put that in there, because the gears are going to mesh, it's going to turn a little bit. It's going to go like this, and you might have to take it in and out a few times. But what you want to do is, you see how the top on this side is fatter than down there? It could only go one way if you want your number one in the right position. And you can stick that in anywhere and then adjust your number one to it. But if you want to do it like the factory left it, you put the wide side on top as you're looking down, you know, down through the hole, and you point the slot at 11 o'clock. Now, I'll try and show you that that's the bottom of the distributor. See, that's offset as well. So when you put your distributor in there and it goes in that slot, you got the big end on that side, your rotor will be pointing to number one. If that's at 11 o'clock. If it's off a little bit like this, it's not going to work. If it's off a little bit like that, it's not going to work. You're going to miss number one. So that's got to point at 11 o'clock. And like I say, take it in and out. Watch and see which way it turns. Take your oil pump in and out till you get that point at 11 o'clock. Big part is up on the top there. And let me reset up here and I'll try and show you what it looks like together. Okay, so if that's in there like that, and our distributor is in there like that, yeah, hang on, I'm not getting a good picture of this. Let me lay it down. Try and show you what I'm getting at here. Okay, oil pump is laying down. Distributor's in there. And our rotor, I marked where number one is. Our rotor is pointing at number one. I'll show you a little more in depth when I put it together. But basically, you have to put your oil pump in correct. And you have to have it in the position I showed you. Just pointing at 11 o'clock. And if that's pointing at 11 o'clock, your distributor and everything as it goes in is going to be in the right place. That's going to be number one. It goes in the slot. And you twist that to where you need it to be. And you'll be right at number one. So, the oil pump is the most important part of getting the first part of your timing right. You'll have number one in the right place. Like I say, guys have been asking me that question on where number one is and how it goes, and that's where you have to have your oil pump. Your oil pump controls everything. It's going to mesh with the cam right here, and that's how you get number one. Get that thing pointing right at 11 o'clock and you won't have any trouble at all. A little bit off, one tooth off will make a difference, so get it right at 11 o'clock, take your time, put your oil pump in right, and your distributor will fall right into place, and then you can take off from there. So just a quick little bit on distributor installation right there before we tear these things down. Anybody has any questions about that, just shoot me a comment and I'll be happy to talk to you about it. Okay guys, it's been 2 days like I say on this distributor, and I think I felt it move a little bit. I just use a real thin chisel like this. You see me use that before on sheet metal and stuff. Super handy. You could just forge those yourself out of anything if you do any kind of blacksmithing work or anything like that, or have somebody make you one. It's hard to find a chisel like that out there. You always got to make them yourself. So it's just starting to turn now. It's been a couple days of soaking. We might be able to extract that guy right now. It's got a weird setup over here. I don't know if we're going to get by it. Okay, it's not ready to come out of the hole just yet. I'll keep fussing with it and see if I get it to knock out of the hole. We may hit this. I'll take the cap off. Be gentle with it. You don't want to have to buy a new distributor because the new ones are well, the new ones are junk, like most parts that people are selling for these old engines and stuff. So you don't want to have to buy a new distributor. So I'll keep fussing with that one. I'll be right back with you, and we'll get moving pretty soon. It's just you got to take your time on certain things, and we're getting started kind of slow here because everything's so messed up. But we'll get moving. Hang in there with me. I'll see if I can pull that out of there. Okay guys, I got a real disaster with this distributor. It's just not moving. You can see it spinning freely, but I can't get it out of the bore. So I put some legs on it, and I'm working alone today, so I had to tape them on there, and then I came on with my vice grip to keep them from popping out. I'm going to set up my slide hammer in this hole up here, and I am going to try and extract it out of the hole there without breaking anything. This one is proven to be a real bear, and I hope it doesn't happen to you guys out there, but sometimes things go bad when you're taking these engines apart, and I don't want to break anything. This one's coming down to being a real bear. I don't know why it's spinning and not coming out. We're going to find something in there, I'm sure. So I'm going to put the slide hammer on that, and this is just another method that you can use to get a distributor out before you take some heat to the block or something like that. Don't make that be your go-to move. Don't heat up the block if you don't have to. So let me go grab the slide hammer, and we'll hope for the best. Maybe this thing will pop out. But like I say, I'm on the third day here. Previous 2 days I've been soaking that thing. I got it to move today. I thought it would come right out, but you know, things happen. But don't let them get you down. We're gonna get this out eventually. I'm just gonna show you a few different techniques I use to get things out. So got my legs on there. Let me get the slide hammer set up. Okay guys, I got the slide hammer on there. I'm just gonna start hitting it lightly to see if we can shock it out of there. You see, I got a little bit of movement there. I don't want to break the housing. Nice and easy. Okay, the chain is holding it up now. Let me just take that off. Okay, as you can see, it has broken, and that's what we didn't want to happen. it pulled the collar right off there. So I don't think that one was ever going to come out. But you got to try. Let me get you in there. I think you can see that. That is the distributor housing left in the block. So something's wrong with this one. Like I say, it was spinning, but it wouldn't move. I don't know what's happening. Something has gone terribly wrong with this particular distributor. Now we got to work on getting that out of the block. So distributor is junk now, and we didn't want that to happen, but you know, sometimes you run into that. I'm going to clean that up, see what it looks like, see how stuck that is in there, and see how we're going to extract that next. I'll be right back with you. Okay guys, I finally got that piece coming out. The first drill I went in there with, it's a 3/4 drill with a little short step on it. I've got this drill special. This is the first one I go through, and that little tip is smaller diameter, so it won't harm the block inside. That one gets me a nice straight line in there. And I go in there real carefully with a 1-inch diameter bit. And that gets most of the junk out of the way. I leave a little bit on the bottom. And just going in there with a little hook on the slide hammer here. And it's going to fight right to the end. Yep, hang in there. We're getting it. Okay, that is what was left of our distributor. A complete disaster. So it happens sometimes. You just got to be prepared for it. Don't let it ruin your day. It's just part of rebuilding these old guys. We can find a distributor somewhere, I'm sure. That's not a problem. Let me grab a little magnet here for a second. Okay, what was stuck in there, or what I think happened, you dig that piece out. That is at the base of your distributor, and I think there's the washer that's there, and I think that was coming off the distributor or something. The roll pin that holds this guy in, you see that guy, I hope, that was missing, or it was hanging up in the housing there. I don't know. The distributor maybe was broken when I broke it free the first time, and I thought the whole thing was turning. I believe it was broken because this piece that came out of there was completely stuck to the block. So, you know, sometimes you run into this. I'm going to get things cleaned up and vacuum up all these cast iron chips. We got a bunch in the block, but that's no big deal. That's all going to come apart and get hot tanked. I'm going to pull the valve covers next and see what kind of condition that looks, you know, under there. See if it's all gunked up. See if anybody ever changed the oil in these things, or, you know, if it's really a mess in there. So I'm going to zip those off next. And like I say, we're having a hard time getting going on these things. Little things are beating me up pretty bad here on these, but we'll get moving pretty soon. I'll show you what it looks like under the valve covers in just a minute. But let me clean up. I'll vacuum up these chips and be right back with you. Okay, here is the cylinder head cover off of one of the engines. And it looks squeaky clean in there. Like the way that looks. I think everything is going to work out real good on that one. So, bad distributor on this engine, but nice and clean up top. This is the engine we had the good distributor on, came right out. and it is really sludged up. Springs are rusty. They've both been stored in the same place, so I don't think it was the storage that looks like a little mold or something growing on that guy. They're both stored in the same place. I don't think the storage was a problem. I just think there was lack of oil changes and lack of maintenance on this particular engine. It's pretty sludged up, but that's not a bad thing. It's just not what I like to see. Makes me wonder how the rest of the engine was cared for. But that's what that looks like. And for the next little bit, I'm just going to be taking off accessories. Thermostat neck, oil filter assembly, water pumps. I'll take the same stuff off this one. They've got different style oil filter on this one. I'll take the oil fill and indicator tube out of there. We'll pull these fittings out. So nothing real exciting, but I'll just chip away at it, and let me know what you guys think. There's a lot of guys that tell me I go into too much detail. A lot of guys say I explain stuff too much. Let me know what you'd like to see. If you want a very detailed rebuild, let me know. If you want me to skip over a lot of steps and just give you the general idea how things go, let me know that also. I can only make the videos better if I hear from the viewers. So let me know how detailed you want me to get. If the videos are too long or too short or anything like that, just let me know, and I can adjust from there. But I'm going to take off some accessories, and I didn't expect to get slowed down so much on that distributor today, but I'm going to keep moving forward. And basically we're going to consider this guy here with the bad distributor, engine 1. That guy will be engine 2. I've got a cart with all my goodies on it. This side of the cart is going to be engine 1, and this side engine 2. So as I take things apart, I'll show you how I like to categorize things and put them in order so they don't get messed up. But that'll come once I start taking some major accessories apart. And for now, like I said, because I got so slowed down with that distributor, I'm going to end this video here. And I hope you guys are liking what you're seeing so far. And if there's any particular part of an engine rebuild that you would like to see specifically, let me know while I'm early on in the series, and I'll be sure to go over it. But for right now, we'll end this one today. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch up with you maybe tomorrow if I got some free time. We'll pull the heads off, flip them over, pull the pan off, and take a look at the lower end. So thanks for watching again, and I'll see you on the next one.